Saint Therese of Lisieux was born to Zélie and Louis Martin on the 2nd of January 1873 in Normandy, France. The Martins had a total of 9 children. Only 5 girls survived to adulthood. All of them became nuns. Therese had a delicate and emotional disposition as a child, but grew into a woman of great spirituality. From an early age, she wanted to join her sisters in the Carmelite convent at Lisieux and was given special permission to enter the convent in 1888 at age 15. Though she lived only 9 years as a Carmelite nun, dying on the 30th of September 1897 at the age of 24, her spirituality has touched many people, and she was canonized in 1925 and named a Doctor of the Church in 1997. Her spirituality of the little way is best learned from her autobiography, The Story of a Soul.
He has been pleased to create great saints, who may be compared to the lily and the rose, but he has also created lesser ones, who must be content to be daisies or simple violets flowering at his feet, and whose mission it is to gladden his divine eyes when he deigns to look down on them, and the more gladly they do it, his will the greater it is their perfection. Story of a Soul, Chapter 6. One evening, not knowing in what words to tell our Lord how much I loved him, and how much I wished that he was served and honored everywhere, I thought sorrowfully that from the depths of hell there does not go up to him one single act of love. Then from my inmost heart I cried out that I would gladly be cast into that place of torment and blasphemy, so that he might be eternally loved even there. This could not be for his glory, since he only wishes our happiness, but love feels the need of saying foolish things. Story of a Soul, Chapter 5. If the salt loses its savor, wherewith will it be salted? Matthew 5:13. How beautiful is the vocation, O Mother, which has at its aim the preservation of the salt destined for souls. This is Carmel's vocation. Since the sole purpose of our prayers and sacrifices is to be the apostle of apostles, we are to pray for them while they are preaching to souls through their words and especially their example. Story of a Soul, Chapter 6. In truth, I am no saint, as this frame of mine well shows. I ought not to rejoice in my dryness of soul, but rather attribute it to my want of fervor and fidelity. That I fall asleep so often during meditation and thanksgiving after communion should distress me, while I am not distressed. I reflect that little children are equally dear to their parents, whether they are asleep or awake, that in order to perform operations, doctors put their patients to sleep, and finally, that the Lord knoweth our frame, he remembereth that we are but dust. Story of a Soul, Chapter 8. Another time, I was working in the laundry, and the sister opposite, while washing handkerchiefs, repeatedly splashed me with dirty water. My first impulse was to draw back and wipe my face to show the offender I should be glad if she would behave more quietly. But the next minute, I thought how foolish it was to refuse the treasures God offered me so generously, and I refrained from betraying my annoyance. On the contrary, I made such efforts to welcome the shower of dirty water, that at the end of the half an hour I had taken quite a fancy to this novel kind of aspersions, and I resolved to come as often as I could to the happy spot where such treasures were freely bestowed. Story of a Soul, Chapter 10.